Hello, welcome to At Home with Berly. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Deco Mesh wreath using two separate colors on a wire work form. I've already made the wire work form here. I do have a video already up that shows you how to make this. You can either buy it already like this for quite a bit more money than you make it for yourself, or you can watch my video and see how to make this. But first, what you're going to need besides your wire work form is you're going to need your two colors of Deco Mesh. I have a black and white today because that is the theme of the wreath I need to be making. So the first thing you do is you roll out some of the white mesh and you take the black from on top and roll it across to where you line them up like so. And then you're going to take it, the two pieces, and you're just going to fan fold them. Doesn't have to be even, doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of fan fold all the way through and just hold on to it like this. Once you have it like this, you take your wire wreath form. What I like to do is make sure all my pieces stick out on the outside and are in on the inside. Okay, so you take your fan fold apart, and I like to work from the outside to the inside. So I'm gonna go right here and you just take the piece, spread it apart, lay your fan folded part right there on top of the wires like so. I like to point the end kind of into the center of the ring. And then you're gonna take it and you're just gonna snugly tighten that down on top and twist. I usually twist 2 or 3 times. And then I will just push this back to the outside so it's easier to find the next time you need it. Now you take your rolls and together you roll them out until you have about a foot or 2 outside. Okay, so as you can see, I have quite a bit of distance from the roll out, and that's because I'm going to take this and kind of pull it through until I have roughly 8 to 10 inches out. And from that point, I'm gonna take the 2 layers and I'm just gonna fan fold them again. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be straight. You're just kind of gathering it up until you have kind of a poofy bunch here. So I have a poofy bunch like this, and then I'm just gonna move on to my next tie. Separate it out, and I kind of just push it down in there and hold it. Okay, so then you're gonna just take the 2 ends, pull it tight around the mesh, and twist at least twice. 1, 2, I usually do a 3rd time, and then I just pull this one to the outside. Now you've got this big poof here, and what you're gonna do is arrange if they move, you arrange them to where you want them. So you stick this in between the 2 wires there. And then depending on which color you want where, you pull out the bottom one into the middle. The best thing to do is to puff these up as you go, and then you can go back and make minor adjustments when you're done. But we're gonna do this all the way around the wreath. So I'm gonna pull another 8 to 12 inches. I'm gonna fan fold. Tighten it down. Go to my next tie. Move it to the outside. And you take this and you puff it back out, arrange it the way you want it, and this time I'm gonna pull the black to the inside because I'm trying to make a pattern. But it just depends on what you wanna do, which way you wanna pull them each time. And you're gonna do this all the way around. So I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so we're just about halfway around. We've done the whole wreath here on the outside. Okay, so we are at the point where I'm back to the beginning where I started. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take your 21-inch Deco Mesh, just still all stuck together here, and you're gonna pull it, and you're gonna fan fold like normal. And I like to attach back to the original starting point before I cross into the inside, because it kind of helps fill the gap. So I just come back to the one that already has the end on it, pull these two apart, like so. See where the end is? And I attach back, but I angle it to the inside of the wreath, since that's the way I'm going to be going. Tighten it down, just like before. And then we're going to pull. This last one I did black on the inside and white on the outside. I'm trying to go back and forth for the pattern I'm trying to do. So I'll pull the white to the inside. And this can work with any colors you want to use. You can even use some of the multicolored ones, like if you have a solid and then a patterned. Could be pretty too, depending on what you're trying to do. But then you just fluff them up so they're ready to go. And then we're just gonna pull on in to the inside. Okay, so for some reason, my white one was ripped into a second part, almost like they wrapped two longer pieces together to give me my full yardage. But that's okay, I can work with this. I'm just going to tuck this back into the one where my white cut off, right here. Kind of happened almost perfectly. So I'm just going to open this back up. This was the one where we originally, before I cut across. So if something like this happens to you, you can always just make do. No reason to start over. I'm just gonna undo it, and I'm gonna go back underneath the black. And I'm just gonna connect these two whites together and fan fold them back. And I'm just gonna connect all of that together so it looks like one solid piece, and you won't be able to tell once the wreath is done. I've actually never run into this before, so this is a new thing. It's okay, I'll just layer them on top of each other and we'll go from there. Okay, so I think I've got it kind of where it's gonna work. I'm gonna try that again. Stick all this back in here. Now I've got the front and top edge put together of the white, and we should be able to just move on like that never happened. And see, can't even tell. So we're gonna go from here on the inside ring this time, all the way around, just like we did on the outside. So I'm gonna pull the 8 to 10 inches or so, depending on how fluffy you want your mesh. I usually like to do 10, closer to 12 inches actually. So it gets me a good big fluff and I have a really full wreath. And just fan fold and start attaching to the inside all the way around. Take that first inside ring, stick it on there. Alright, so we're gonna do the exact same thing all the way around the inside, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so here I am on the last one. Gonna tie it in right here. And I don't cross back over to where I started. We just end to the one nearest to it. So you're gonna do the exact same thing you've been doing all along. And you push it down in there. And then I'm gonna fluff this the way I need it to be fluffed. To this point I'm losing track. But it doesn't matter, once you get it partially fluffed, you can go back and rearrange this any way you need to. Okay, so now that I've done that, I still have my 2 rolls attached. I usually pull out a fair bit, like this, And then I just take a pair of scissors and I just kind of cut through the fan fold. Doesn't matter if it's even or not because you're just going to tuck it into the back of the wreath. So I cut across, remove these, get them out of the way, I'm done. And now you've got this end sticking out here. What I usually do is I just take the end and stick it down in between the middle wire and push it out the back. So then it comes through the back like this. Okay, so that's the end there sticking out, which I can trim back later. And you've got all your pieces in here. When you're ready to decorate, I just make sure they're all up in the right places first. So here is our completed wreath. Now this still needs some fluffing and fixing and changing to make sure that it's in the right pattern that I'm looking for. And you can move these things any way you want, fluff them, change them. And now our wreath is ready to decorate with your ribbons or ornaments or whatever you're going to put on it. Okay, so there you go. That's how you make a Deco Mesh wreath on your wire wreath form. If you found this video helpful and useful, please comment below on the video. Please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Home with Berly. Thank you. Bye.